If it's 9 a.m. and the market's open, you know what time it is. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. Good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm the founder and CEO of Gar Capital. Finally, it's Monday, August 28th, 2023. As a trader, you know you love this, what you do, if you're excited for Mondays. Most people hate Mondays, but it's a new opportunity, new week. If you watched our recap on Saturday, you know I've been ready to rock, ready to go, prepared for everything we want to do, and the bell ringing cannot come soon enough. Let's go ahead and get started around the Horn Dow futures, up 157 points. NASDAQ, new session highs at 1589. S&P 500 futures, session highs, 4436. The Russell, 1866, up about 0.48%. The dollar is pulling back slightly. The VIX is up 0.83% at 1581. Dollar is at 104.04. 10-year Treasury yields are down 41.94 as expected. We talked about the dollar and yields pulling back from overbought conditions as we expect so far. So far, so good. Get my Apple Pencil away. All right, let's go ahead and keep going here. Crude oil is flat this morning, 79.82, which is interesting, even though the dollar is flat or red. Gasoline futures taking a hit, $2.59, down 2%. Gold is up about a quarter point, 19.44. Not really a risk-off sentiment in terms of gold, more of the dollar, I assume. Silver, 24.23, that's flat. So maybe getting some demand here for gold. Maybe we target that 2,000 level. We can always chart it together. Copper futures up 0.29%, $3.77. Euro dollar, 108.10. It's up 16 pips. Dollar yen, 146.40. That's flat. Pound dollar, 125.97, up 17 pips. Bitcoin futures is slightly green. Well, it's up about 0.58% on the futures side, 26,230. Ethereum, 1657 this morning, up about 0.55%. That's where we are. In terms of headlines this morning, not much going on. Oh, this was a DM from one of our students, Swaggy. We were going over the market late last night. I love talking to my team. We were kind of prepping for the week. We were talking about the things I expect. I said, I think Monday and Tuesday we make our money. By Wednesday we need to be out because volume is going to crash down Thursday into Friday with Labor Day next week. I think liquidity was S expletive last week. YouTube doesn't like cussing, by the way. At least we had Nvidia and Powell last week. I'm expecting a green open. More positioning. We gap up on Tuesday on some excuse. Spin the wheel. We cash in and probably call it. I think tech catches a bid. So far, so good. I think the rates and dollar take a step back. So far, so good. They'll chop you Thursday on. If we get rebalancing on Wednesday, end of money, maybe yields can get some reprieve with bonds getting bought up. And then we went ahead, kind of like a spotter at a gym saying, let's get it this week. Let's rock and roll, man. So again, anyone in the server has a question, even wants to vent, I'm here to assist. I'm here to help, especially now that it's a little quieter in terms of volume. Please DM me any of your questions and concerns. Maybe there's a chart you want me to look at. Maybe there's a stock you want me to analyze with you. I'm more than happy to assist you guys. This is why I am here. All right, let's get to work, everybody. We're going to start with the S&P 500. You're probably saying to yourself, well, Carlos, we're up. Are we buying? Not quite yet in terms of the S&P 500. We're just not there yet. So what exactly are we looking for? We want to get above 44.67. Ah, yes, the good old 20-day moving average. If we do, we can target 4,500. And again, that is our money level. That's what we want. We want to get above 4,500 because if not, we are just setting up for that head and shoulders pattern. That means more weakness to come if the technical pattern holds up. So we want to make sure we write this down. Make sure your pen and pad are handy. 44.66 on S&P 500 futures is what you're looking for upside. SPY traders, what are we looking for? We're looking for this cross here. We want to get above 445. 445. So again, 445 at least on SPY negates the head and shoulders pattern, at least on SPY, and gets us above the 20-day. So if we get above 445.06, I like the 450 calls on SPY, but we need to make sure we get above that first. Let's go ahead and take a look at cues from Soothing Sounds. That does sound nice. Let's take a look at Qs. We want to get above the 20, which is right around 369. The problem is that we have that head and shoulders set up on Qs as well. So we're going to go ahead and place the alert at 369. If we want to confirm the move, we want to get above 372.26. But if you get above 369, you could target the 373s, 372 to 373 calls. But there is a gap to fill at 380. Very interesting stuff. That's what we want to kind of target in terms of a break above that fib level. And then it's back to your regularly scheduled programming of higher highs and higher lows on Qs. So that's what I'm looking for more upside. If we're looking for more downside, we need to crack below 358.41. That's your support zone from June. So again, if we crack that, that is not going to set us up to go ahead and go short quite yet. That's going to give us, let's call it the watch, or the idea of, okay, we need to keep Qs on our board. So I also placed on our Discord a new channel called Workshops and Webinars. I went ahead and put out our 2019 Mark Options course video, and it's all on there. So again, this is for everybody, even if you're part of the blog and the free part of the blog too. We're gonna start putting more workshops where we can get a couple of people in. They are limited seating on GoToMeeting, but again, a way for us to have conversations about certain subjects and be more focused. So again, this is going to be something that's going to assist people in the server to kind of go over certain things. Maybe there's Fibonacci's that they want to go over. Maybe there's some technical points that they want to go over. Maybe it's fundamental analysis they want to go over. Maybe it's some trader tools we want to go over. The next video I'm looking to do, and the only reason I didn't do it today is that we didn't have much news flow, was a pre-market plan. So this morning I wrote something down, and it was kind of a hint of what's to come. I put, proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That's an old military adage. And again, what's more disciplined than the military, in my opinion, right? I don't know. I submit to you to find someone, individuals more disciplined and work as a team. I threw in the Navy SEALs Buds GIF there. Let's have a little fun. So the workshop and webinar, the first video I'm going to post up is going to be in the morning. It's not going to be a course where everyone's going to jump in. It's just going to be a recording for the first one, and we're going to go over how to prepare your day as a trader. What are some of the things and some of the habits I like to do first thing in the morning to set you up for success? And again, the thing with habits, the easier that you make them, the simpler you make them, the easier it's going to be to stick to them. If you start having big, broad ideas that I want to do this and this and that, it's really hard to connect the dots. It's really hard to stay consistent. If someone says, I want to run 10 miles every morning, that's going to be pretty tough unless you are a big time runner. But if you say, hey, every morning I'm going to run to the end of the block and come back, and that's a little easier to follow. So what we're going to do for the next webinar or workshop is how to break down your morning. Even if you work a 9 to 5, where you have your alerts set up and you're already set up for the day, you know what's coming, you know the news, and you know what to follow. So again, we're going to keep it very, very focused on that for the next webinar. I hope you guys watch it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And again, if you miss it here on the Discord, I will make sure to put it on YouTube as always. So if you are someone who subscribes to the channel, you'll make sure to get everything as well. But an easier place to see it would be here on the Discord server. So I just want to take that time. Good morning, Carlos. What do you think about AIG? There's one thing that did happen, that is happening in the Gulf of Mexico as a Floridian, but I don't live in the west coast of Florida. We have hurricane force winds that are possibly going to impact the west coast of Florida. Now, I'm not a weatherman. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't claim to be. But obviously, we know if you're a Floridian, hurricanes are just a way of life. And what does that mean? Well, how does that tie into AIG and insurers? And the reason I talk about insurers, and I don't think AIG does homeowners insurance, they're more life insurance. But obviously, any kind of catastrophe, there's going to be a hit in terms of claims. I just don't know how exposed AIG is, so I don't want to pretend like I know. But at least in the fact of insurance, if you have noticed, guys, regardless of how you see climate change, global warming, it doesn't matter. What we can say is that weather has become more severe. Heat waves, we can't fight what we see and how we feel, right? Yes, every summer is hot. That is no different. But the heat waves that we've been having in the Southwest, the highest recorded temperature in July on Earth, not the most optimal conditions for insurers. So again, insurance companies, again, more catastrophes, more things that are out of their control means more claims. So Florida being a big issue for homeowners insurance. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal this morning that a lot of homeowners are skipping out on homeowners insurance. For example, my premiums went up. And again, I live in Central Florida, about 30 minutes away from Orlando. So, we get hurricanes, tropical storms all the time. And it is a big mess in Florida because of so many claims and so much weather-related incidents that happen, whether it be hurricanes, tropical storms, depressions, flooding, you name it. So when it comes to AIG, if you're talking about just I guess if you just want to talk about a trade, you can see that triple top. You kind of have to get above 62.5 to do anything with it. But again, if you're owning this name, it's really for the yield. You're not trading it. And look at the difference at what we used to be. AIG, one of the big names in the news back in 2007. If you guys don't remember the crash then and the credit default swaps and all that stuff, the CDOs. But looking at just the chart here, I'm looking at just a daily chart. You need to get above 62 to break up above that triple top-ish. It's not exactly perfect. I don't know what you're trying to do here. Cynthia's boost of motivation, I like that. I'm going to check out that channel and see where we go. But if you're looking as an investor, let's take a look at AIG's dividend. AIG dividend pay ratio right now is at 2.49%. PE ratio is rather low. It is an insurer, but 2.49% on a dividend yield, you can do better than that. You can get a high yield savings for 4.5% on SoFi. So not really worth your time, in my opinion, as an investment. Let's take a look at Microsoft this morning. Microsoft, let's do it. Microsoft, we are boosting this morning. Could you test that 384 zone? Sure. You're kind of breaking out of this little range here. Is it the best setup? No, I don't see anything here that makes me want to go ahead and go long. I'll still wait for 340.72. I went ahead and placed also the watch list, or a couple of names I'm watching for the week. Let's go to the watch list here. Here we go. So let's start with IWM. I typed this up last night. Let's do it. IWM, we want to break above 188 to play calls. Take a look at the daily. We are holding a very key trend line that has broken before in April and May, but again, still the uptrend holds. Get above 188, we can start targeting that 20-day at around 190. The best setup would be more downside. If we break this downside up, this uptrend, excuse me, if we break that below 181.61, there is a gap to fill at 176. I think that on IWM, we're kind of hoping for a little more of a pullback to trade it. But upside, somewhat, again, it's kind of the similar head and shoulder setup that we're trying to break. So if SPY breaks, IWM breaks, Q breaks, it'll all be together. And that's how we can probably boost higher and try to trade calls. Let's take a look at Boeing. Boeing has a gap to fill at 227.05. We have not filled that gap yet. Again, I expected us to fill that. I said that on Saturday. If we fill that gap, that's not enough to go long as of yet. We want to break that gap and see if we can get that continuance to right above 230 and see if we can play 235 to 240 calls, excuse me. Let's take a look here at one more and then we'll answer some questions. Tesla, the money maker so far this month. We want to get above, we are above 241.75. Of course we are. So I'm taking a look at the 250 calls. We're going to move this here to the most recent highs, 244.49. So again, let's update that, 244.49. If we break the recent highs, we're going to take a look at the 250 to 255 calls. The problem with the 255 strike is that you're basically assuming that we're going to break above that recent trend line on the 4-hour. We're right there on it. So again, we'd have to get above that. So far, at least, I think we're already above it. So maybe it's the daily candle. Yeah, probably the daily one. There you go. Kind of nice, set up a downtrend. We need to break above that 244.50 for us to go continue higher. Then we could target 255 to 250 to 255, maybe a little pricey. We can do the 260s for a little more juice, but again, with low volume, just be careful. We got to target that 50-day at 257.41. 241.51, that's the 20-day. We're above that now. So there is bullish momentum if we hold that 20. Stay above 241 on Tesla. You're staying long on it. And then just watch out for this possible resistance at 250. Let's answer this questions here. A firm short. Wonder what the cost carry is on short on firm. Don't see much here. So daily we got that pop. And again, this is more of a subprime lender, let's call it. 1974, a little more upside. Again, you'd have to break above 1833. Maybe we get a little bit of a boost in terms of the high betas and we can play this one. I'd probably take a look at the 20 calls. Maybe buy some time on it because that's we're expecting a nice little jolt from where we are currently. In terms of short, assuming that we have a gap to fill on the daily now. That's what we do. Right around 1456. We did not reject our triple top as of yet on the daily, but we are above the 20. So again, as long as you stay above that 20-day, Lingowick, my apologies if I butchered that name, stay above 1577. It is still long. Again, remember, we're going to use the 20-day as kind of our momentum indicator, at least on the daily. It's not one for one, it's not perfect, but it really gives us a really good path to see where we're going moving forward. Let's take a look at AMC. This one has been absolutely obliterated, as we know. I remember we had a call alert, and that never broke. We filled this gap here around 1239. It's been absolutely obliterated. I don't know what more someone can expect from this name other than the fact that it's pump and dump. That's really it. So again, I'm going to take away this alert here. We're trading at $11.90. I don't know what the expectation is on this name. The trend is down, but again, it takes only one headline to change anything in regards to AMC or anything else of the ladder. You do have a couple of gaps to fill to the upside. That's a problem, but the downtrend is there. God knows how much those puts are. I can't even tell you, so we have to wait until the market opens. But on the weekly, it's a disaster. This is probably going to go to sub 10 if we have this kind of trend going down. The question is, are we going to have the volume on AMC? That's one I may stay away from. It could be just too crowded to the short side, and then it takes one headline and we go higher, and then it's over. You're welcome. Cynthia says, thank you so much for the explanation. I appreciate it. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. You're welcome. Maria says about Disney. Disney, if we see, has been an absolute just destruction, right? Down, down we go. Can't buy anything here until we at least fill something in terms of a gap fill. You're below the 20, so you can't go long either. So what are you doing? Short, what, $80? Not terrible, especially if we're in a down tape. Right now the market's higher, so again, I've had this issue before trading Disney. I had Disney puts and I bought, I want to say 3 weeks of time, and of course the thing chopped and soared. That's just the way it goes. So maybe we retest those COVID lows of 79.07. How many people are going to reload at that level? Maybe not a bad place to go to look at Disney. And again, that is a very similar point of emphasis from 2014. So I don't have to be the first one to buy Disney at these lows, but around $79, that's where it may get too cheap to pass on. That might be your support, and that's how I would look at it. Humana, same thing. Humana, I want to say it's Humana. HUM, I'm assuming. And insurer, health insurer. I like UNH more, but Humana is fine to own. And again, if you're owning it, it's really just for the dividend. You're not exactly expecting explosive growth either. And this is how the stock trades, pretty sideways. If you're looking for a place where you want to go ahead and actually buy, 433.28 is your 200-week moving average. That's as good a place as any since we held it in 2022 and we held it this year at the lows. Humasite. I don't know what Humasite is, but I will take a look for you. And this is a penny stock, so again, I don't know much about these names. You're trading these at your own risk. Is there anything here that's going to give us any edge? You're above the 20 on the daily. That's the best I can say. I don't think they're going to have a ton of volume to trade options here. So personally, I'd skip it, Jordan. Not much to go by there. I'm sorry. I think you're better off with the mega cap names if you're looking for volume, especially when we're not expecting tons this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's our money makers, guys. Thursday and Friday, don't expect much. Labor Day is next Monday. Expect those volumes to be bone dry as people are going to take that week off or that weekend off. So we will see what we get in terms of the market. Nothing has really broken for us to get too excited. If we have a head and shoulders on the 1 hour, I guess, if you kind of want to say that, not really. It's more on the daily. Again, we want to get above 4,500 to break that head and shoulders. Right now, we're just in a holding pattern, and that's okay. But I'll be watching Boeing, and I'll be watching Tesla. Tesla needs to be on our watch list today. Let's see if we can catch it this morning. And we are not overbought as of yet on Tesla, at least. On the 1 hour, yeah, we are. We're almost there. So we'll see what we get. So Tesla's on the watch list. Have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. I will get that webinar regarding starting your trading day right, preparing for your morning. And that will be a quick video. Again, I'll go over a list of things that you should have on your checklist to start your day right and to kind of set yourself up for success. It's all about preparation. That's what it's all about. Have a great rest of your morning. We'll see you on the blog. Cheers.